everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and today it is time to talk about the Profusion Ethereal Palette. So I already did a video on the other Profusion palette that they have out called Harvest, and I did a video, I demoed it, I swatched it out, and I absolutely love this one. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Really well done as well. So they had another one out and I went and got it. And I have to say, when I first had it, I don't know why, I just wasn't that excited to actually use it. I think because the colors are just all over the place and I feel like it looks a little confusing and a little chaotic and like, where do I even go? What do I even match together? But once I started playing with the colors and kind of just using one or two here and there, I found that I love it. I was truly shocked at how good these, the colorful shadows perform, because I have used Profusion before, not for a long time, but I had one of their palettes and I really didn't like it at all. So I wasn't expecting a lot from this. I just really wasn't. But I have to say, it's so good. There are a couple of colors I don't like. This one here called Delicate and the one here called Exquisite. They're just like chunky, flaky, yucky kind of glittery shades. But every single color in here is wonderful. All of them are pigmented, all of them blend well. I haven't used these three right here. That is what I'm going to use today. I will swatch the entire palette as well and go through my favorites and the ones I don't like. I'll even swatch out those ones that I don't like. But this palette overall is fantastic. I absolutely love it, and it was only $10. Like, if Profusion keeps putting out palettes like this in nice, like, cute packaging, I would buy more from Profusion because I have not been very impressed in the past. I do have the Citrine palette and I think the one called Nudes, and I think those ones are all right. Definitely, like, for the $5 price point, they're good. But this one, I can't believe is only $10. It's wonderful. So I'm gonna go ahead and demo that little trio that I pointed out, and then I'll swatch the palette at the end. And if you're curious about any of the makeup on my face, I will list it in the description box. It's all Shop My Stash makeup that I showed in yesterday's video. A little higher coverage than I was expecting, so I feel like I look not like myself, but it's fine. So I'm gonna use these three shades right here, as well as that one. Oh my god, that shade is so beautiful. It's called Fluorescene. I always thought it was Fluorescence. I don't know why, I hadn't read it, but now that I tried to read it, it's not even what I thought it was called. There are a couple of those putty, I thought were cream, but someone left me a comment saying that she thinks they're putty, and I think that they're right. I think they're putty, and that's one of them. So I'm gonna put that one on my eyes as well. And another thing I found is that there's very little to no, I was gonna say little to none, little to no fallout with this palette. So I have my full face of makeup on, so let's see if there isn't any fallout today. But I'm just gonna kind of bounce around in those three shades there. This one is Cherry Blossom, that one there is called Flora, that one's Bouquet, and then that's Fluorescene. So I'm just gonna kind of dip around there, probably the darker one on the outer corner. I'm gonna start with Bouquet though, that nice peachy color. And I haven't tried these three yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be just fine because the rest of the palette has been really well, or really good as well. Okay, so I just got Bouquet on my brush. I do have primer on. And now that I said that, one of the issues I do have with this palette is the green ones right here I wore yesterday, and I noticed them fading. And I haven't noticed that with any of the other colors, so I don't know what was up with those. I did have primer on, like I didn't do anything especially different, but I noticed that the color had significantly faded. It didn't completely disappear, but it definitely was not vibrant like I had first put it on in the beginning of the day. So just want to point that out. I mean, look how much pigment that color has. I can't believe it. It's so pretty. And I'm so shocked because I wasn't that excited about it. I was picturing those blues, especially the blues and the little teal and the green, just being streaky and patchy. You know how blue can be, but it is really pretty. It kind of reminded me of like a ColourPop blue. Like right when I used it, I said, this is a ColourPop blue, because they had a palette out, I feel like it was called Blue Moon a while back, and it was the best blue eyeshadow formula on the market. It was incredible. And that's exactly what I said when I used that. That's a ColourPop blue right there. I mean, even just that one color, it looks great. Pigmented, blendable, easy to use. I'm gonna go with that shade called Cherry Blossom, the little bit of a pinkier one. I don't know, just kind of deepen it up a little bit. I just want to use all three of those because I haven't used them yet. And then I'm going to go with the shade Flora, that little bit of a darker one, just to kind of deepen up the outer corner. I'm going to kind of just pat it a little bit because I haven't used that one yet, so I'm not sure how pigmented it's going to be. I'm just going to kind of gently pat it on. I feel like my brush might have too much of the other colors on it. You wipe those off a little bit. That one's not as pigmented as I was wanting it to be. Let me get a clean brush. Yeah, it's like not picking up that well on the brush either. There we go. Maybe it was just the brush, because that brush was loaded with powder, so maybe I just needed a clean brush, but it picked up finally. Gonna go back with that orangey one called Bouquet, just to kind of blend out a little bit more. I kind of want it to look more big. All right, there's that. And now the one called Floor Scene, this one right here. This one, I really wish it wasn't the putty formula just because it is really, really loose as well. Like if you were to like swatch your finger in it like this, it's gonna move it all over the pan. So kind of be a little bit delicate with it when you're swatching or even when you're just applying it. Oh, but this one is so pretty. It's just like this super, it's definitely one that's like a top coat kind of color. It kind of reminds me of something that Fenty Beauty might put in a highlighter. You know those kind of like putty highlighters they have that are so smooth you can't tell if it's cream or powder. It's so smooth you can't even tell that there's shimmer in here or glitter whatsoever. It's a really, really beautiful formula. So I'm just gonna get this with my finger and put it on the lid. Ah, look at it. So pretty, so easy to use. High impact as well with just a little bit. It's so beautiful. Catches the light all throughout the day. I hope the camera is doing it justice. I think I'll have to like insert something here of it like hitting the light in a swatch because it's so pretty. Other side. It sticks on the lid really nicely. It's not one of those shimmers that kind of like flakes off or is kind of difficult. It just sticks. You just could just pat your finger on. You don't even have to really swipe it. It'll just stick right where you put it. It looks, you know what it looks like? It looks like one of my favorite Stila, those liquid eyeshadows they have, one called Mermaid or something. I wore the heck out of it, and you know what? This looks so similar to it. So I'm gonna do some on the lower lash line as well. I'm just gonna get those same kind of colors. This one, actually, I think I'll do the peachy one, a little bit of this like on the outer corner, put on some mascara, and then we will swatch this bad boy. Let me check the fallout situation real quick though. I don't see anything. There's a little bit here on my inner corner, I think just from my finger like touching it there, but there isn't any flakiness or powder or anything that I even need to wipe away. So be right back with some swatches. All right, got mascara on. I put on the Tarte Tartelette tubing mascara. I absolutely love it. And I love the way this look came out. I really, really love that shimmery top coat kind of one. It really reminds me of the Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadow. I can't even, Sea Siren. It was called Sea Siren. It looks exactly like it, but it's like a little putty eyeshadow. It's so nice. Love the way this looks too. Anyway, let's get on with the swatches. I'm gonna do all the mattes first. In this palette you get 11 mattes. and 9 like shimmers and those putty ones and the glitter ones. So let's swatch all of the mattes first. And like I said, most of these are pigmented and have like what you see is what you're gonna get here. That one that I was trying to use called Flora wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be. There's the first row of mattes. I know these don't look impressive in swatches, but performance is really good and the pigmentation is lovely on the eyes. The purple, the blue, everything just performs great. The mattes do feel really smooth. They feel really rich and buttery. There are a couple that feel dry, like the one called Splendid, that dark teal one, and the one called Delightful, the dark purple. I think because, I mean, over the years, I just noticed colors like that are usually a drier formula. They're not super rich or creamy feeling. I don't know why that is. It might just be the nature of those colors and how they're made. Those two on the bottom corner called Roots and Rare, this one and this one, are the most pigmented deep colors in the palette. That one up top called Flora that I used on my look today, this one, not as pigmented, but still a little bit of color, adds a little bit of depth, but just be aware that one's not gonna be pigmented right off the bat. You definitely do have to build it up. But overall, the mattes are lovely. Performance is great. Very little to no fallout as well, which I am shocked by. So now I'm gonna swatch just the regular shimmer shades. I'm gonna leave out like the glittery ones and those kind of top coat ones for last, because I feel like sometimes once you touch glitter, it's gonna be there forever. Like it's gonna be there till you wash your face, and then after that, it still might even be there. So there's a few of the shimmers there. Which one did I not get? Oh, Hydrate, that blue one. There they are. I love the shimmers a lot because they're super easy to use. They're regular, just basic shimmers. Like they're not super foiled in your face, but they add a little bit of dimension to an all matte look, especially just using them on the lid. And all of them are pretty. All of them are pretty, all of them perform well. Let me swatch that purple one a little bit more, the one called In Bloom, because I used this one on my lid and I really, really liked it. I love the way that it looked, but the swatch is not looking super intense. There we go. So those are some of the shimmers. Okay, the one called Awakening here in the corner. Where can I swatch that one? This one I don't really know how to use. It's this one right here. I have only used it like on the inner corner on a flat brush, like on the inner part of my eyelid. Why did I swatch it like that? You can still see it, it's fine. It's kind of like a white gold, like a yellow white gold kind of color. Definitely one to use on the lid, like a top coat kind of thing, inner corner highlight. I haven't gotten a ton of use out of that because I don't know where to fit it in just yet. The one here called Delicate is one of the creamy, where can I put this? Like putty type of colors. This one isn't one that I love just because it's not as in your face as the one called Fluorescent, or maybe I just like that one more. Can you see it? It's a really delicate, light, baby pink, lavender kind of color. I haven't gotten a lot of use out of that one either, just because I don't know, I don't really know where to put it. I have used it a couple times and it's nice, but it's not my favorite, but it's a pretty color. This one here called Exquisite is definitely my least favorite in the whole palette. It's one of those chunky, like ugly formulas of glitter that just goes on streaky and just kind of gross. In the swatch, like hitting the light, it looks so shiny. I don't know if you can see how patchy and streaky it is. Like it goes on just ugly. Like it's just not a good color. But for the whole palette to have just one like super dud shadow, I think that's pretty good. But I don't like that one at all. I don't even like touching it. And then let me see this one here called Fluorescent. This I think is one of my favorite colors in the palette. I hope, like look at that. It's so beautiful. Multi-dimensional, really, really pretty, and it's so smooth. Like you wouldn't even know that there's glitter in here or any shimmer at all. You don't feel any grit at all when you're using this. It's just lovely and super, super smooth. I wish it was in a powder because I feel like that cream, I don't know how fast that's gonna dry up, but just touching it and seeing how loose it is in the pan, I feel like it might dry up pretty quickly. But I bet that's also what's making it so beautiful, is that it's that kind of putty formula. But either way, I think it's just gorgeous. It's the one I've used the most in the palette, and I love it. And that's kind of it. I think for $10, you cannot go wrong with this. I think it's beautiful. I did find these in store at Walmart, but the last time I was there, they had all the other stuff from the collection, like those matte eye cream things, and they're like, they had some other things, lip glosses, I think. They were all on the clearance end stand already. So I don't know if you're gonna find these in store at Walmart anymore. The display kind of sold pretty quickly, I think. But I have seen these still on Profusion's website. I mean, it's a new collection for them, so I'm sure they'll have it there for a little bit. So that's kind of it. Let me know what your thoughts and experience has been with this palette. I would love to know. I love it. I love reaching for it. I think it's a lovely, beautiful, colorful palette for summer, and I think it's great. I think Profusion did something really great with this collection, at least with the eyeshadow palettes. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.